I want to do everything and yet I do nothing. I know you that you want to do something great with your life. Young, ambitious. I know that because there are still 16 tabs open in your browser. That Substack article, that healthy muffin recipe that you never got around with, the conversation with ChatGPT about pros and cons about buying a walking pad, the flights to Bali. You keep clicking between them. You promise yourself to come back to each one, but you don't. I know because you tried to read the first 10 pages of the Content Creator Handbook and you gave up after 10 minutes. I know because last night at some point you ended up on the floor rotting. I know because the list of the lives you want to live just keeps getting longer. Writer, engineer, creator, C-suite exec, someone who can speak English, French and Italian, or someone who can sell flowers from her own florist shop. Here's the thing, right? I have spent most of my life wanting things. I wanted to write a book. I had been meaning to create content very actively. I wanted a different version of my new house decor. I wanted to learn cinematic shooting. And in all those wantings, I was very productive in my head. But the actual gym attendance is a different story. I have a book which has a bookmark on the page 47 that hasn't moved since February. The house looks the same, maybe a little decorated. I still burn my muffins and the house decor still looks very basic. The truth is, since college, the options have only multiplied. Each life I scroll past looks possible. Social media makes all of these lives close enough to touch but far enough to reach. Tell me, how are we supposed to choose? The truth is, I'm addicted to the feeling of being motivated. This adrenaline, this high, the buzz that I get in my head when I get a new idea. And the first 48 hours is a complete blur. It feels that the best version of me has just arrived. I start a new journal page. I pour my heart out on this freaking page. I imagine the first way of doing it and the last week of doing it and feel how accomplished it could feel when I achieve that. And I lay out beautifully in my head. And that dreaming feels like working. That's the trick. The mapping out, the planning, the imagining. I'm genuinely very productive in that 48 hours. I'm producing dopamine and not anything else. Then it gets hard. You have to sit down and start working on it. You need to go to the gym despite being very cold, when you might want to sit in and order a burrito because why not? And by the end of this week, the energy I had on the Monday has completely depleted. And then the dream dies. I say I'm doing nothing. I'm not actually doing nothing. I'm scrolling TikTok. I'm scrolling Instagram. I'm scrolling past people who are doing things I said I was going to do. I'm watching them shoot their videos in fancy apartments and I'm watching them live their life I had just planned in 48 hours. My eyes are still open. My phone is hot. My dream is still somewhere in there. I'm just being plumped. That's a cycle I keep being trapped in. The dreaming, the dying, the rotting. Every few weeks, new ideas, but the same arc. But what's underneath? Here's what it is underneath. The dreaming is rather an escape. The first 48 hours of that new idea are the hours I feel I am not trapped in my life. I'm not in this house. I'm not in this body with the same routine I am doing day after day. It feels like a new world, new possibility, a path that has opened up. And there is a gap that exists in all of us. The version that imagines and the version that actually does that thing. I have tried a few explanations for this. I've done a bit of a research in this and I can say that none of them are wrong, but none of them feel quite right either. So let's start by defining being stuck. Here's what people actually say. Here's what feeling stuck is because there are too many options. There is a thing called decision paralysis, where your mind gets fatigued when presented by too many options through which you can achieve your idea. There is ample amount of content on internet that tells you what all things to do, what steps to take to achieve what you want to achieve. But nobody tells you when to start and how to start. So this is the answer that tells you just start. We know that done is better than perfect. They will tell you discipline is the answer. I have done that in the past. They will reference grit and willpower and that one study about marshmallows. They will tell you to choose joy. Pick the thing that lights you up. Trust your intuition. Your authentic self knows what's best. I have read all of this and I have followed all of this, and none of them actually fixed it. Not because the advice is wrong, but because advice doesn't account for a lot of things that are missing out. It assumes a lot of things that are missing out. The first thing, it assumes that I do not know how to start. But the thing is, I do. But knowing doesn't actually fix it. And second, it assumes that being stuck is just one thing. Is just one thing that needs just one fix, which is the biggest assumption. Being stuck is not just one thing. The root causes of being stuck are many different. Sometimes they overlap, they feel similar, and they all have different exits. Some feeling stuck could be arising due to overthinking, or some could be the fear of failures, or others could be the distance that is going to be traversed from day 1 to day 100 just looks plain intimidating. Now, if you were to ask me what stuck root cause am I at? Well, I could be multiple. I could be overlapping between 2 or 3 of these. Sometimes I'm just switching between these in a single afternoon. And stuck, hence, isn't just one thing. And hence, it doesn't have any one solution. So what really are my options here? And whilst I am in this discomfort of being stuck, I might start doing just one small thing that gets me started. Could be picking up a pen, opening a notebook and writing the idea down. Or could be buying a new shoes online that gets delivered and that's going to help you run better at the end of the day. Truly, just take it day by day. So looks like your idea of your next dream could be coming this week, and it is going to feel like the one. It could look different than all the others. It won't be unless something is different about us this time. If you begin and ever happen to get stuck, please know what kind of stuck you are at, because I know what kind of stuck I am in right now. And I think you would know yours too. I want this time to be different. I don't know yet if it will be, but we can try.